So everyone seems to hate Majin Kuu, and I'll go even further than that. Everyone seems to hate Dragon Ball Daima. Before I start glazing Dragon Ball Daima, I will say that this guy right here, I do not like his design, but the way he was made, it just makes sense to me. Sure, it looks very, very boring, but it makes sense. If you actually watched it and you understand how he was created, the design makes sense. Sure, it could be a little bit better, but with how Dragon Ball is set up, we already know that there may be more forms coming up in the future. I mean, Dragon Ball always gives everyone a second or third form, so I'm not surprised if we see a better, stronger version of Majin Kuu. And this is still the beginning, so there's not a lot we can be too mad about, but people are going to find out a way to be mad at anyway. It seems like everything Dragon Ball nowadays, no one's having a good time. So I'll start with Dragon Ball Daima. So we all know since October 11th or 10th, it came out the same day as Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. The first episode, I remember the first episode, a lot of people loving it, saying how it looks great, how the world building and seeing how the story could go. Everybody was enjoying it, and I was one of those people. Am I still enjoying it? Yeah, I'm still one of those people. Are a lot of those people that love episode 1 still enjoying it? I don't think so. I already know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this video. A lot of people in the comments are going to say a lot of things. I wouldn't even say towards me, but more towards the series. And again, if that's something you want to bring up in the comments, I might even make a separate video of just looking at a lot of your comments down below. So feel free to say what you want to say, good or bad about it, because I am genuinely interested. I've just seen a lot more hate than positivity when it comes to Dragon Ball Daima. But yeah, the first episode was great. And I'm gonna be very honest. Like I guess I will be glazing this series, but the second episode was very boring, very slow, and I think the drop off from the first episode to the second episode, I think that's where a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is not what I want." The third episode, I believe, was good to me. The second episode wasn't good at all to me, but the third episode was good to me because they gave us a ton of lore. I'm not going to go into detail. You just have to watch it yourself, or you may remember what they were talking about. I thought that was interesting information, and we got some information, I think, in the fourth episode. We're on like the 6th or 7th now. Let me just make sure. 9th. Oh my God. Damn. Yeah, we're on the 9th episode now, but on like the 3rd or 4th, I guess while I have it pulled up, I can just look by the thumbnails and see what was happening. I believe, let's see, forced to make their way through the third demon world on foot, Goku and his companions stop by a lone drive-in on the way. There they can encounter some strange souvenirs. There we go. Okay, so yeah, the third episode was lore about the demon world and the different realms, and there being 3 different demon worlds. The fourth one, that's where we got some information about there being the possibility of fusion being a thing, and we still have not seen that yet. I'm pretty sure we will get that here within the next 15 episodes, however long it's going to take to get to that point. But we will be seeing fusions, which I cannot wait for. And a lot of people, I'm already knowing, a lot of you guys are going to be switching up here like you guys switched up with the Tamagami fight. So I thought that was interesting that they gave us some information on some things that they could use, like senzu beans, but they're like bugs and fusion and all that kind of stuff. So thought that was cool. 5th episode, they picked up Pansy. That was cool too. There was a fight in there where they were saving people. Not a lot of lore in that one, but we got some backstory on Pansy and all that kind of stuff, and then more world building. Episode 7, that's when we see Vegeta and the gang. Well, not Kibito got left behind, but Vegeta, Piccolo, Bulma, they are starting to get ready to leave and go to the demon world. Then episode 8, that is when a lot of people switched up where they were just there for that one episode, or not even that episode. Some people probably didn't even watch the episode. They just watched the clip of Goku fighting Tamagami and were like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing ever. This is what Dragon Ball Daima should have been from the very beginning." I will say that episode was well animated. I loved it. I agree this was like the best episode so far in Dragon Ball Daima, but I'm not saying that to shit on all the other episodes. Everybody else, a lot of you guys, some of you guys that might be watching were shitting on literally the whole series because you wanted that one episode to be the whole series, and that's just not what Dragon Ball is. I know a good majority of Dragon Ball fans watch Dragon Ball for the fights, the pretty colors, the transformations. And I think Dragon Ball Super kind of spoiled a lot of people because of the rate of which we were getting transformations and all these new characters with super OP powers and universal. I think Super was definitely something that spoiled a lot of fans, and I'll even go as far as a lot of newer fans to Dragon Ball. Super was their first iteration. I grew up around the time where a lot of people that grew up around my age, I know I maybe look younger to some people, but Dragon Ball Z, OG Dragon Ball was where most people around my age started, maybe even GT. And it's a little bit slower. It took a little bit long, especially OG Dragon Ball, of course, and that's basically what Toriyama was trying to make Daima, just an updated OG Dragon Ball. And I think he's doing a pretty good job, or he did so far. He's doing a pretty good job, in my opinion. Even Z, it took a minute to get to certain points where I feel like Super, it was weird. Super felt like it was rushed, but also, it took a long time to get to certain parts, but also it felt rushed at the same time. I don't know. Some of you guys may get exactly what I'm saying, but I personally just don't like how the community has completely like just shitted on this series. And I understand everybody has their own opinion. I'm not saying everybody doesn't have their own opinion, but like just going out of their way. And I've seen some crazy stuff, like people talking shit about Akira Toriyama, and I'm like, bro, he is like are you human? Are you human? And just because this may not be your favorite chapter or whatever out of Dragon Ball, out of everything else that you've probably seen, doesn't give you the right to just completely say that I've seen some wild stuff about Akira Toriyama online. Not even gonna say it because I don't want to disrespect him any further. Just because he is a GOAT, and I don't understand how people can talk shit about somebody that's passed. And this is his love child. Again, you don't have to like it as much as other people, but some of the stuff is just a lot of you guys are just out of hand. Like the stuff you guys have been saying is insane, in my opinion. And then the 9th episode, we got some more backstory, some more lore. We got to see a Vegeta fight. I'm gonna just go to it since we're already here. And this I guess this is all spoilers, and some of you guys might not even care because some of you guys probably don't even watch Daima like that. You just drop in for like the the big fights or whatever happens. So there was about 2 or 3 fights in here. There was one where these guys took the Dragon Balls. Goku and Glorio ended up fighting them and taking the Dragon Ball back. Some good stuff. Then let's see, Vegeta. Seeing Vegeta and Piccolo in a nightclub was interesting, and their kids. So like, how are kids in a nightclub? I thought that was kind of interesting and funny. So yeah, we get to see that fight. And then Vegeta and Piccolo fight again outside of the club with those same guys. And then here we go. So kind of just circling back to Majin Kuu. A lot of people before this episode had came out last week and a half or whatever, everybody was speculating about, well, not even speculating. We knew that they were creating another Majin Buu or whatever, because Arinsu was around that time when Buu had got exploded by Vegeta's final explosion, and she took a piece of the broken off piece of Buu or whatever when that happened, and they've been concocting a brand new Majin, and we finally got that, and it is Majin Kuu. Now, Majin Kuu's been getting a lot of hate. I understand. Like I said earlier, at the very beginning of the video, I think the design is ugly as well. He does not look that cool. But it just, so it makes sense from what they used. I mean, they literally said that they used literally put a Cyberman seed within like the Majin potion concoction, whatever. So it's a Cyberman base. We all know what Cybermen look like, that was an interesting take to me, like an interesting choice to me, to use something so weak as the base for something so powerful. So in my opinion, I'm thinking that was like their way of like kind of nerfing Majin Kuu, because how do you have like one of the weakest monsters or villains in Dragon Ball and then combined with arguably one of the strongest, well, not even arguably, one of the strongest villains? So kind of balances things out, especially since they're kids. So it makes sense. It makes sense that they didn't want to go too OP by mixing them with something else crazy. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny because people on Twitter, and I will go on Twitter to see what other people have been saying, but like they were like, why does that look like a Cyberman and Kid Buu had a baby? Well, bro, if you actually watched it, they literally explained that's exactly what it is, and that explains why he looks like this. Is it ugly? Yeah, bro is ugly. I'm not saying that the design is fire, but it's literally Cyberman mixed with Buu. This is what they would look like if they fused. If Kid Buu had absorbed a Cyberman, this is exactly what he would look like. So I don't expect him to look any other way. Again, I don't think it looks cool, but again, knowing Dragon Ball, he's definitely gonna have another form or two he'll probably go, it's funny, he'll probably go in reverse how we saw Majin Buu, then we saw Super Buu, and then we saw Kid Buu. He might go in reverse where this is essentially his base form or Kid Buu form or whatever, Majin Q, his Kid Q form. That's funny. Kid Q form, and then he might go into like a Super Q, and then I don't know. We'll see what his forms will end up looking like, and I think people have even shown some pictures of what he may look like in the future on Twitter. But that's enough of that. Again, let me know what you guys think about Majin Q. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys do not like the design. I think he's ugly, but again, I understand exactly why he looks like that. Like, I'm not debating that he should look like something different, because a Cyberman and Kid Buu fusion would look like that. It would look exactly like that. So I'm not going to say it should look any other way. Now, I'm just going to look at a lot of the stuff people have been saying on X.com, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So this guy decided to do a redesign. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I think he was trying to go for more of like the Cyberman look with the definition, I guess. But there being hair doesn't make sense because Kid Buu doesn't have hair, neither does a Cyberman. I'm not messing with it personally, but I see where you were going. Let's see. Is the internet complaining about Majin Q? I can only imagine what their reaction to Majin Buu would have been like back in the day. See, here's the thing too. I actually saw this the other day, or yesterday. I saw this tweet, and he's not wrong. Like, what if? I'm just saying a big what if. What if Majin Q was the original Majin Buu or Kid Buu, and then they decided to come back with Daima, and Buu was the Q? If you're following me, would you guys be pissed? Like, I feel like a lot of you guys would be mad if the characters were reversed. Like, what if this is what came out instead of this? And I honestly think, personally, nowadays everybody is just trying to find something to complain about. Like, there is constructive criticism, and there are things, people definitely have some points about things, but when it comes to this, I believe he's right. Like, I feel like people, if these were reversed and we saw one before the other, and one of them Buu came out in today's time in 2024, I feel like people would switch up on Buu and say that the design is trash and because when you think about it, if you really think about it, like Kid Buu, I think he's fire. Like, as a kid or watching him, I always thought he would look cool and menacing or whatever. But when you really look at him, his design isn't anything special. He's just a small pink kid with a tendril on his head. Nothing special about the design at all. It's just that we grew up with him, and it was just something special at the time that we love the design. But again, if Q was the one that came out before Buu, I think we would be like, oh, this is a copy and paste. If you guys get what I'm saying, if I'm explaining that correctly, pretty sure you guys get what I'm saying. How much you want to bet the new Majin Q motherfucker gonna have a face like this in his final form? He might be right. Every freaking main villain has some sort of serious face like this in some form or fashion. My version of Majin Kuu, keep it real me. Does this not make more sense as a Cyberman Buu mix, or am I tweaking? I think this one's got too much going on, personally. But I think like adding like the veins in his head with the all red eyes, and then having the Cyberman feet, it makes him look more evil, in my opinion, more menacing. So I actually mess with that. And then somebody right under it kind of changed the colors. And nah, I'm not messing with the pink. I think the green for Majin Kuu looks just fine. I think I like this one more. This one I think has too much going on, but I like that redesign. And then I kind of want to see more about like the actual gripes. Oh, I kind of like this one though. I mean, it looks just like Kid Buu. The tendril is just green. I think it makes him look more menacing for sure. So I like that one as well. I like that too. Yeah, Dragon Ball series is officially washed. Now I won't even go that far. These are the people that like are extreme when it comes to like just shitting on Dragon Ball for no reason. I don't know. I feel like because of like how anime is nowadays, I feel like people just don't like Toriyama's art style or his design. This is how he draws. Sure, anime nowadays looks completely different. You could say it looks a lot better. Compared to like anime nowadays, compared to Toriyama's designs. Toriyama's designs look more cartoony compared to stuff like Attack on Titan, JJK, Demon Slayer. You guys get what I'm saying? So it's just a different art style. So you can't really compare villains drawn by Toriyama compared to stuff that other people have done. Mariba, Majin Kuu, Majin Doo. I think these are like leaks or something. Maybe not even leaks. I think these are just people are speculating this is what he'll look like. Marinsu, Majin Fusion, Majin Marba. So Mariba or Marba and Boo. I don't know. I don't know if these are factual. I doubt these are, but who knows? People are saying this. I've seen people say that these were leaks or something at one point, but I'm not gonna completely say it's factual. If you guys know more than me, let me know. Just last week, y'all was hype as fuck loving Daima for Goku going against Tamagami number 3. Now because you hate the design of Majin Kuu, Daima's ass. LO, some of y'all motherfucking brains need to be studied. I had already liked this, and what did I say? There are a good portion of Dragon Ball watchers that only love the fights in cool looking forms. They could give a fuck about lore, sadly. I mean, you guys know who you are. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody watches anime for their own reasons. And so if that's what you like, that's what you like. But the fact that a lot of you guys switch up, like people are waiting just for that episode to watch something. Me personally, I like to, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna get hate in this video regardless, but I feel like there are people online, because there's people that are watching it themselves and they have their opinion, and that make like if you actually watch it yourselves and you watched it 5 episodes in or whatever, 6, 7, I'll listen to your opinion more so than somebody that sees something online and be like, oh, this is ass, but never watched anything, don't know anything about the lore. Like, there's people online obviously that just saw Majin Kuu and was like, oh, this is ass, this is why I'm never watching Daima. You're not forming your own opinion. You're not, tuning in to like 2 or 3 episodes to see if you like it or not, or if you may like it. Those are people I won't listen to if I figure that out. But the people that have actually been watching it, I'll listen to more so their opinions, because I'm like, okay, you've actually put the time into it to figure out what exactly it is that you don't like. So I don't know. Hey, we can all debate about this in the comments. If you go on my other videos, I always respond to like 60 to 80% of my comments, depending on how many there are. And then lastly, I'm gonna just check this guy out. Greasy Pixel, I follow him on X. Call me the odd one out, but I love the lore and character design behind Majin Kuu. Sometimes it's underrated styles that hit the hardest. So I like this one as well. I do still think he's ugly right now, But as time has gone on since I've watched the episode, I feel like it's going to be a design that's going to grow on me, and it's going to grow on a lot of different Dragon Ball. I feel like Dragon Ball fans, after Daima's all said and done, I think people aren't going to hate it as much as they say they do right now, personally. Especially once Q gets in like a fight. Trust me, once Q gets into a fight, they will. You guys will switch up just as fast as you did when Goku fought the Tamagami. We saw how the animation was on that fight. Imagine once it gets to the end or whatever, they start fighting Q, they fight Goma. I don't know, they do a fusion. Trust me, I was here from the beginning, but trust me, a lot of you guys will switch up on Daima and be like, oh, this was actually good. It always has been. You know, or a majority in my opinion has been. Not every episode has been a hit, but yeah, there's just other things that I can find that I like within it. But yeah, I feel like I've been rambling. I don't really have anything else to say. Again, if you have anything that you want to bring up, or is there anything, if you agree with anything that I said, if you completely disagree, let me know. But I genuinely feel like this is just a slow burner. This is just a slow burner anime. A lot of animes aren't like this nowadays, so I feel like this is just something a lot of people just aren't used to, or maybe just aren't really into anymore, because we have been spoiled with anime nowadays, where everything is like every freaking episode there's something going on. Like Dan to Dan, I'm loving Dan because it's so crazy, the animation, the colors. There's some weird fight or there's always something going on every single episode, and that's what people are used to nowadays. There's always something going on each episode, and they don't waste time. And I love those kind of anime, but I had to kind of dial it back a little bit, because I knew from the beginning, and we all knew, Akira Toriyama himself even said this was going to be more like OG Dragon Ball. And I watched OG Dragon Ball, so I knew what to expect. But again, don't want to ramble too much. I said what I needed to say. See y'all in the next video. Peace.